Saturday with a quick prayer. Master Jesus, what a beautiful day to be here together amongst friends. The only intention to improve ourselves and to learn from Kardec's teaching. Be with us through this exercise, giving us the intuition, the doubts, and the will to participate. Be with us today and always. So be it. So, yes, it is working. Let me share. Of course, every time I want to share something, it's not sharing. Can you see the book?
No.
Coming slowly.
Yeah.
Half the book, half this,
Yeah,
half
half
the
of it.
page.
Okay. So let me just put you guys
Now we
on
can
the screen.
see.
Okay.
Okay. I cannot see you guys. Let me see if I can find you here. Oh, here we are. Okay, we have stopped, and last weekend we have stopped on the item number 8. Of all notable contradictions in spirit communications, one of the most striking concerns reincarnation. If reincarnation is a necessity of spirit life, why don't all spirits teach it? Don't you realize that there are spirits whose ideas are as limited with regards to the present as are those of many individuals on earth? They believe that their current situations must last forever. Thus, they do not look beyond the circle of their immediate perceptions, nor do they worry about where they have come from or where they are going. They are nonetheless subject of the law of necessity. Reincarnation is a necessity they do not think about why it is not happening to them at the moment. They know very well that the spirit progresses, but how? That is a conundrum for them. So if you ask them about it, they will talk about it, the 7 heavens superimposed on one another like the stories of a building. There are even some who will talk about the sphere of fire, the sphere of stars, the sphere of flowers, or the spheres of the elect. We see that quite often in a mediumship meeting when spirits do not realize that they are discarnate, where sometimes some of them realize they are discarnated, they are dead, but they believe does not allow them to progress. Some of them believe they need to stay like that forever, waiting for the awakening. Some of them, and I think this is the more serious one, they believe in the nothingness. There is nothing after we die. And they refuse to accept even the proof that what they taught is not real. Sometimes they come to the meeting and they share with us that it's not possible. This is not happening. You do not have the right to talk to me. You don't know what you're doing. I'm waiting for whatever, depending on your belief, what they believe. But after a period of time, they start to have questions about things they may do not understand, but they cannot deny. And I believe we all will be like that. Regardless if we are spiritists or not, every individual here in this room has a different belief. Or, if I may put like that, has a different expectation. Let's assume that all spiritists, they believe in life after death, and they believe in the reincarnation. But I'm pretty sure that everyone here has a different expectation. And who is right, who is wrong? I prefer to say that there's no right, no wrong, because eventually we all will be facing the truth, the real truth, not our truth. Because when we discarnate, if we like or not, we will be exposed to the truth. And then, hopefully, what we are acquiring in this incarnation will give us the strength to go through it, will give us the basis, the knowledge to accept and to understand what is happening. Over the years, we had spiritists coming to the mediumship meeting, discarnated spiritists coming to the spiritist meetings. And even to some of them, was not straightforward. Some of them, they had a different perception altogether, or the deception of what they thought would be waiting for them. Hi, Christine, go on.
Hi. I've got a brother-in-law that's don't think he'll last 2 weeks. What would be your suggestion to speak to him? He's a Baptist. He believes in God, but he's not necessarily believing that there's anything once he goes. I just need to give some support, I guess, to him. I'm seeing him tomorrow, so I was really keen to see what you thought would be a good thing to say or do.
Why his belief is not sufficient?
He's been actually, and this may sound strange, but for about 3 years now, he's been going. His will to live has been very strong, but his body is finally giving out. He can't really keep his eyes open for too long. And he's only 30-something kilograms. But I think he feels there's so much more to do and that he can't go because he needs to do it. What that is, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you start your point saying that how can you transfer what you believe to him, sort of. And my question was why you have to complete what he believed. Because you said to me that he believes in God. So that's already a very positive thing. But why do you believe his faith is not sufficient to support him when he crosses over? Do you know why I'm asking that?
Yeah, I do know, and I'm trying Trying to work
Because
out.
because we sometimes are less faithful than somebody that does not even believe in God. Sometimes we believe because we are spiritists, we are better than others. Sometimes we believe that other beliefs are incomplete. And I cannot share that opinion. Because sometimes their reception will be far better than mine. They are here preaching, like, you know. So I don't see an obligation for that. I see an obligation for any human being to give comfort to those that are suffering, to those that are about to go, like you said, if they are about to go, because for him nothing is impossible. And I'm pretty sure that you said, I think you said 3 years. 3 years ago, people believed they would be dead by now, and he is not. Right? And how many people passed in this 3 years? So we don't know. There are so many things we don't know. But to bring a bit of comfort to you, I would say that you can come easily. You know that that's not the end, don't you?
Yeah.
That's all. That's not the end. And sometimes when I know people and I have a relationship with some people, I say to them, if you find something over there that you do not know what's going on, remember that you have people on this side that may be able to help you. And when I want to annoy my aunt, for example, I remind her the days of the spiritist meeting in the group. She does not like it because she's not a spiritist. But I remind her, hey, aunt, you know that I'll be there Tuesday, Thursday, this time of the day, right? You can come to see me. And she says something I cannot pronounce here. But, you know, there are different ways of give comfort and give a little bit of insight, if you want, to those that are about to go. For example, I had a discussion with someone. He was very thorough and he was very hard in saying that I was totally wrong. And I said, that's fine. Keep that for you, right? But in case you arrive over there and something seems like what I used to say, think about that. Because there are more things than you may believe. And I saw Denise's hand and she became a bit shy. She put it down.
I think, Christian, I was in her position about in February when my mother-in-law passed away. I think for me, it was all about whatever she believed, as you are saying there. And I think I put my hand down because you touched the point. It's just about comfort and praying to the God that they believe. Because my understanding that once you pass away is about the synchrony that we are, the vibrations that you are. If you are like praying for whatever God, you know, whatever you believe, the good, the comfort will come. The spirits around you will come and take, you know, and look after, as Graham said, his faith should be enough. I think it's all about his belief, and he should come down, and that's it. That's the thing that was in my mind. Sorry, Graham.
No. I hear. But I would like to add a little bit on what you said. His faith and his actions during his incarnation is what will give him a good assistance on the return. Because sometimes the faith alone is not enough. I may believe in something, I have the faith on this, and I do everything wrong. So when I end up on the other side...
I know, but the actions has no way to change anymore. The actions is past. I think on there, it's just it's going to be just your faith and just like your plea. And if you really believe may come some help, yeah, your actions, but there's no way to change that anymore.
Mm-hmm. There are some scenarios that we leave on a day-to-day leadership meeting. There are sometimes we had, for example, not too long ago, a Jehovah believer coming to our meeting. And everything we say, we preach, it's almost a clash with what they do, what they believe. No, this is not happening. This is not possible. I've never been told this. I want to return to my people. This is faith. And through the conversation we had with this spirit, I cannot even say if he was a good person or not a good person. But that was his faith. And his faith was in shock with the reality. But on the other side, there are communities
Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah.
of
His
Jehovah,
faith.
Mormons, Catholics, you name it. There are people like that, to give them the support until slowly they will get immersed in the new reality, and they may change their perception. Sometimes it's not a given thing. Hi, Munir.
Hi, hello everyone. Yes, I think it's a very interesting topic because I know this, sensation. Sometimes we want people to see through our eyes. We are so happy with the knowledge we gain from Spiritism that we want them to, embrace the same thing as well. But it doesn't work that way. I think in the end of the day, the most important thing is the state of our heart. Inside, how we are, no matter our faith or whatever, because we may be have all the knowledge that Spiritism brings to us, but inside our heart is not in balance. When we go to the spiritual world, we won't be in balance. So it's not so much how much information, knowledge we pass on to the person, but the example through having faith in God and all religions they have, and also pray. These are the two important things. The rest will come for each one of us at the right time. He said he's a Baptist, Christine. He may be a Baptist for much longer, even in the spiritual world, as has been said. And slowly he'll feel the need to answer some questions that perhaps today he doesn't even have formulated them, But in the future, then yes, if we are around and can answer those questions, we'll do that. But the important thing is to have our heart in balance, morally evolved, morally advanced in this sense. And we don't need religion for that. Religion is just a way for us to speed up this process, and knowledge will come. He'll find himself in the spiritual world. Doubts will come. He'll see if he's convinced by the answers that those around him will give him, or he'll try to learn more and embrace certain things. We embrace the Spiritism because we are at the point of embracing Spiritism, accepting the knowledge and making good use of that, I hope. But many people, they aren't at that point, but they still have their faith, they still have their love for God, for their neighbor, and this is what counts, The rest, each one of us will conquer at our own pace. I'm Spiritist in this incarnation. I don't know how long I've been a Spiritist before this incarnation, if I was at all. But because now I, find resonance with the Spiritism. That's the knowledge, the information I want at this moment and that I need. But many people, they don't. And we may be there just to give them comfort and say, yes, trust in God. Pray to God, whatever the situation. And the rest will come. I mean, this is something I've learned over the years in this.
Munir, there's something you said that brought me a thought that's very clear in my mind. For most of the Spiritists today, it is the first time they are Spiritists. To some, maybe the second time, but the great majority is the first time they are Spiritists. But before we were Spiritists, we were everything. Over the amount of reincarnations we had, we were things we deny today. We were things we don't accept today. So we possibly will be Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, you name it. Because if reincarnation is true, and we know it is, we've been through different places on Earth, and different places on Earth, they have different beliefs. So we've been through this, if you like or not. And another thing I want to share with you guys is that Spiritism is not for the Spiritists. Spiritism is for everyone. A Spiritist mediumship is not for Spiritist spirits. It's for spirits in any belief or creed, any color. And if you believe that inside the mediumship meeting the workers are only Spiritists, you are also wrong. A mediumship meeting is an organism where we work with Baptists, Catholics, Buddhists, people that practice Umbanda, Preto Velho, the old, how to say that in English, is basically the old Africans who migrated and were enslaved in different places. They are all there. To those that are clairvoyant and had enough experience, they can say that. So a mediumship meeting, a true Spiritist mediumship meeting, is open to anyone. And everyone that comes from the spiritual world to work in a mediumship meeting, they bring their experiences, their knowledge. The mediumship meeting, once again, the Spiritist mediumship meeting is not for Spiritists, it's for spirits. So let's move on then. Oh, I have a hand. Camila, I have another hand.
Yeah,
Camila first.
I don't know who is first. One thing about this topic, because I don't know how they translate the name of the movie, Nosso Lar 2. I don't know if it's our home too. I don't know like how it is in English. If you have the opportunity, everybody to see. But when one of the mediums that he's doing a lot of work, he passed away, he didn't receive assistance immediately, right? So he doesn't understand. He say, I help everybody, I work, why I'm still like walking around, right? I don't know. Sometimes I think, indeed, if you believe, this part of the journey is not easy, right? We are not like a Chico Xavier, Divaldo, people that he was very good in the hearts. So I don't know, at least me, I'm not, I know that I'm not. So I think it's not so simple, the
Yeah.
journey.
No, it's not. And Camila, there are many people that are in front of others speaking, giving lectures, telling people what to do, and they don't do themselves. How many people on the Spiritist movement believes they need to go once a week just to see a lecture and they call themselves Spiritists? And this comes from our past, because there are other beliefs that believe if you go over there once a week, you are saved. On the other hand, there are people that work very hard to improve themselves, to help others. And sometimes, yes, I'm not discrediting people that only do lectures because somehow they are teaching others. But the important thing is to do. Faith without action is dead. Knowledge without practice is dead. So it's very nice to be there. Nowadays, it's very easy to be on the media, on internet, on Facebook, this, that, blah, be recognized. I'm an international speaker, blah, blah, blah. What your hands are doing. When I said today that sometimes Spiritists come to the mediumship meetings and they are disappointed when they arrive over there, it's exactly because of that. They are all of them, as far as I remember, they said that I regret because I did not work enough. Because here we may believe it's nice to be in front of people speaking, but when we move to the other side, This may not be sufficient. Because what your hands did, and there is also another thing that's very important to us to take the responsibility and to accept. I'm responsible for what I'm saying here, and I am responsible for what you start to believe after I say something here. If I say something very wrong here, and because of what I said, you guys made the wrong choices, I am also responsible. So I like to say that the thing we spiritists should do is to give examples. How can we give example if not by our hands? Acting in charity, helping others. Even for mediums. The mediums that are in balance are mediums that are actively working in charity, helping others. Not on the mediumship meeting. They do in the mediumship meeting, but what they do outside the mediumship meeting is what will bring them the balance they need. A medium is a medium 24/7. But there's a lot of mediums that feel like I fulfill my commitment because I went 1 hour a week. And I'm talking about Brazil because Brazil have weekly meetings. This is not the same everywhere. But a lot of people believe I went over there for an hour. My deed is done. I'm going to nice places when I die. Massive mistake. And I think it was you who gave example of Chico, of Divaldo. Many people like to clap their hands, saying, oh, they are very nice examples. But the great majority of us, we are not prepared to do the same. Oh, well, I'm too busy. I cannot do that. Well, I'm not in a hurry. I can do that next incarnation or so on. You know, that is the difference. Actions. And sometimes people don't like to hear that. Mediums don't like to hear that. Because when they do hear that, and based on the knowledge they have already acquired, they have a problem. They themselves, they have an internal problem. The question is, am I doing enough? And then it's up to everyone to answer this question, right? So now I have another 2 hands. Elsoli, go on.
Hi, everybody. I think when you start the eighth number, I think for Elias, because Jesus, he couldn't talk about reincarnation, so to people doesn't understood that. But apostle, they understood. They could understood. And Jesus told about Elias was Johannes, I don't know in English, Johannes Baptist. Then he was very, very clear to everybody could understood that he thought about Elias. So John Baptist, it was the same person, same. Apostles, they understood. So, but people, it was very difficult to them to understand. And I think for now, when my husband died, he was a very good man, but he was he believed in anything, die. So, and I never put the spiritism to him, never, because I accepted him exactly like he was. And when he died, after many years, he was our study here in my centro, Leon Denis, people saw him very elegant, like with swim suit, and to listen. So he came with a protector, his protector, to listen about Jesus' story, Evangelium. So this, with that, I think we don't need them too much wait to them believe, but not believe in reincarnation. The time come to everybody come time to understood that true or not, yes, we come back.
Okay, so let me jump on it. I may be totally wrong, but I don't believe anyone around Jesus who truly understand the meaning of reincarnation. We have a prime example when Nicodemus could not understand when Jesus was talking to them. And we have other examples where the disciples, they simply did not know, could not understand. Jesus was ahead of his time in a way that what he brought to us, we were infants to perceive the depth of his teachings, right? So to many of us today, we are still infants because nothing much have changed really. And that's it. Hi, Liz.
Hi, everyone. I apologize if this might have been said before, but I've had problems with the instability of this new version of Zoom. It kind of kicked out my volume. But we've been told, this is in response to Christine's question, give only to those who ask. And, we've all been there whereby, you want to become like a missionary, you hear anything and you say, oh, the whole world must know this. But if we break that law of the universe, it's the breaking free will. We don't know that the shoes that person is walking in. We don't know whether we can be causing damage or bringing things onto them that they're not ready for or anything like that. We don't know. So it is actually breaking free will if you force ideas onto people. Give only to those that ask is always reminded to us.
There is a fine line between just give what they ask or don't give to them what they are prepared to receive and they don't know. And it's very hard to know. It's very hard to know. It's case by case, is depending on the individual really, because I've seen cases of people that they had a different creed, but in the moment of despair, they found what they needed when someone came to them and mentioned something that was not part of the original belief. So I don't know.
I think in the case of protection, I think you do need to give your knowledge to your kids regarding things happening on the planet, regarding things, that can affect them and their safety. And, the horrors of the world, they need to have that protection. That is a different kind of giving. I think when you're forcing things about spiritual things onto people, then you're treading very difficult ground.
Yeah, it's a way to see things. I understand.
Yeah.
Let's continue a little bit more. What time is it? Oh, still have plenty.
Can I just share one thing?
Sure.
What I try to say is I don't believe that he only knows, be knowledgeable, that we have another life, right? The life continues after we die, helps too much. For example, my grandma dies with COVID 2 years ago. For more than almost 2 years, I felt my grandma around me. My aunt also is very sensitive, so also see my grandma many times. So we know that she was lost, right? She read a lot of books. She loves spiritism, right? So that it doesn't mean that she received the help like only because she knows everybody came and take her. I don't know, maybe because she didn't felt to have something to do here, was not prepared you. Who knows, right? But she was between us. Only now I can, the last time that I have a vision from her, she was in a single room with a single bed. So I know that she has now some kind of help. But before that, she was lost, and she believed it's from science. She was a teenager, right? Like in Brazil has many religions, many spiritual religions. So she believes in. She attended many different religions that she believes in reincarnation, and she's still like lost for almost
Mm.
2 years at least.
Camila, there are many reasons why the spirit would stay among us after they pass. One of them is the familiars, the family, who do not understand or don't let them go, is a possibility. Another one is, as you said, is the person feel like there is still something to achieve. But there are so many other reasons. And the only thing that, as a spiritist, we recommend people is to let them go. When the time has come to return to the spiritual world, what is our duty? Our duty is to pray for them, ask for help, and that's it. But going back to the mediumship meetings, we see that often spirits remain on their apartment, on their house, on their work environment, because they don't even know they died. And sometimes when they have the opportunity to talk to us in a mediumship meeting, oh, you can hear me, because nobody else can anymore. I'm at home speaking to my wife, speaking to my kids, and they don't hear me anymore. I think they're joking with me, or they don't want to talk to me anymore. See, there are so many things. The important thing for us is to understand that we can help them. We can help them initially with prayers. We can help them with examples. Because using what you said, for example, if I have someone from my family who passed away, he will be seeing spiritist things almost every day during the week. So somehow he will see, oops, I missed something. Or there's something I need to pay a little bit more attention now. So our examples is also very important. So to our loved ones after they pass, this is what I would suggest: a prayer for them and good examples. Because a lot of people is crying and crying and crying. Sometimes we are attaching them to our homes because we don't want to let them go, and we create them problems. So, but this is just a general talk, and there are so many possibilities around that, right? So we understand that little advanced spirits cannot comprehend this issue. But why then are there spirits who are obviously little advanced, both morally and intellectually, but who spontaneously talk about the various existence and they desire to reincarnate in order to expiate their past? Very interesting question. Things happen in the spirit world which are difficult for you to understand. Don't you know individuals who are ignorant about certain matters but knowledgeable about others, who have more discernment than education, and others who have more wit than discernment? don't you also realize that certain spirits like to keep humans in ignorance, and to do so taught themselves as teachers, taking advantage of the ease with which their words are accepted? They seduce those who do not examine matters deeply, but when they are exposed to the light of reason, they do not keep up their charade for very long. When I'm reading that part here, what came to my mind is what we can see today on the internet. So many people preaching salvations and a few other things in exchange of matter, in exchange of money, in exchange of God knows what. How many people are misled? I hope I will never be in the shoes of those who are preaching like they are doing nowadays. But became a commerce, became a business, really. But the consequence of that, we see hundreds of people sometimes in listening to those people talking and what they advocate. Like or not, when someone talks and the other one listens, we are formate them. We are giving them what we want them to believe. And that's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Hi, Solim.
This is a big problem here in Sweden, because the people, I said another day, another time, that many people here, I think the majority is ateo. They don't atheist. They don't believe to you. And I usually, when I talk to somebody, I usually ask the first, believe you in God? Because if they say, nay, I don't, and I don't want to, and I wonder here, why this person is here? It had maybe Divaldo, Divaldo usually came here when he could. But this is, I think, this is a kind of works. Then it's good spirits or protector, his protector, he works with them. Why they are there? But nay, I don't believe anything. I don't believe in God. So I can't to start something to somebody. I talk about the spiritism. Somebody believe in anything, and talking reincarnation is very, very difficult. But not everybody is. Now I think I feel it's a little bit better in Sweden, but it's difficult. Indeed. Joana de Angelis said that here is very, very hard terrain, I don't know say in English, hard her. So, but we come back here. I come back here.
I'm thinking what you said, and I don't talk about spiritism. So many people don't even know I'm spiritist. But sometimes, through examples, they come and ask, why are you doing that? When they ask, then I will answer. Because I believe in this, this, and this. But being atheist or not doesn't matter. Their actions, their choices, their moral elevation is what counts. And as I said earlier today, doesn't matter what you believe, when you passed away, you will be exposed to something you cannot deny. Or at least you cannot deny forever. So why should I try, I think it was Liz who said that today, why should I try to force my belief to someone? I do not. And I give an example. My wife, the first 10 years of my marriage, we never spoke about spiritism. She was afraid, or she had fears, or no. But she knew it was. And the day she started to have mediumship signs, then she came and asked, okay, I know how to help. So that we need to respect others. My daughter, she does not like spiritism. It's not because she don't like, but she's afraid of it. That's fine. My son, for a good part of his life, he did not want to know anything about it until he decided to. That's fine as well. So I think we need to respect the others as well. Sometimes we cannot ignore a situation where we should give our input. But sometimes we also need to respect the other people's space. Hi, Liz.
Hi there. I think Kardec also warned us that, you know, if we push things too soon or too much, we can push people in the opposite direction. They can go on the other path even, or they clam up and don't want any information whatsoever, and we lose them an opportunity, in fact. Regarding another question regarding reincarnation, where they say things happen in the spirit world which are difficult for you to understand. I think a lot of people who you wouldn't expect to know about reincarnation, they bring with them, you know, memory fragmentation, you know, fragments of memory of previous lives, or something while they're down here triggers it. They might read a book, you know, just hear a conversation, and that helps them, you know, uncover deeper memories of previous lives, maybe, or just the knowledge of that reincarnation exists. And same with everything else, really. People can have deja vus, as it were.
Right. Yeah, sometimes people do. And sometimes they don't understand. Sometimes it is a trigger for questioning, for try different things. So yeah. Okay. So furthermore, you must take into account the overall prudence of the spirits in the propagation of the truth. A light that is too strong and sudden is blinding, not enlightening. Thus, in certain cases, they may deem it proper to spread the truth gradually, depending on the time, place, and individuals. Moses did not teach everything that Christ would teach later. And Christ himself said many things that would only be understood by future generations. You speak of reincarnation and wonder why it has not been taught in certain countries. You must realize, however, that in a country dominated by color prejudices and with slavery deeply rooted in its customs, Spiritism would be rejected for a simple fact that is proclaimed reincarnation. Very interesting that, right? The idea that a master might become a slave and vice versa would appear outrageous. Wouldn't it be more worthwhile at first to accept the general idea, leaving its consequences for later? Oh, people, how short-sighted you are in appreciating the designs of God. Know then that nothing is done without God's permission and without a purpose that you often cannot fathom. I have already told you that a spiritist belief will become unified. You can be certain of it. Is that the disharmonies are already less profound and will be erased little by little as man and woman become enlightened, and will disappear completely because it is God's will, against which no error can prevail, the spirit of truth. Basically, he's saying everything we talk about here, right?
Yeah,
In
it's
different-
nice to have that.
When he says here that Spiritism teachings or belief will become unified, it doesn't mean that Spiritism will be above all, will be only Spiritism. A, B, or C belief will disappear. No, it's not that. Not at all. And I'm pretty convinced there are people more spiritually elevated than so many of us. But when we compare the teachings, it's like alike. Hi, Camille.
Hi. One part that he spoke that I felt very interesting is the part because that is in 200 years ago, right? So the part that he says that if he only speak about reincarnation in some places where he has slaves that you do not be accepted, came in my mind the many religions that he has in the Africa continent from the black people that believes in reincarnation, right? So many cultures and so many religions so it would be like how the Christians versus I don't know uh, something that in that time people consider not good, not in the same level, right? Like a pagan, I don't know, pagan, and Christians versus pagan people, pagan, I don't know.
I know a bit of Africa, and there are things over there you wouldn't believe to exist nowadays, and they do. And again, things will come in time. Then I ask you, what was Jesus' religion then? What was Jesus' belief? And the answer was love. So when we manage to mature enough to come closer to that, doesn't matter what you really believe. Doesn't matter how you call yourself. Doesn't matter if you believe you are in a religion or in a philosophy or anything else. Doesn't matter. Because you achieve that common level that will balance everyone. Hi, Charles.
Yes, the reason why Kardec insisted, you see, 3 or 4 sequential questions about this subject and particularly about reincarnation is because in 1856-57, the spirits were teaching reincarnation in France and in Europe, basically, and they stayed silent in US. So it comes from this, and when the spirit of truth is answering yes, because of slavery, because of whatever, he was thinking about US mostly, because in Africa, well, maybe today, of course, the regimes are not very good, but at that time there was no slavery within Africa, as the blacks were used as slaves more in other countries. So one of the reason he's answering like that is to explain better why the spirit stayed silent and did not talk about reincarnation there. And one must not forget that even in Christianity, When you look to the history, how the teaching of reincarnation has been removed from the beliefs, it is during a concile where the emperor of Turkey at that time was imposing to the Pope, removing it because he himself and his wife they refused to believe in it. So this is now more and more known, even within Christianity, and that is why Christianity does not teach reincarnation nowadays. So it's exactly for the same reason that the spirit stayed silent 170 years ago in US in particular.
I just would like to say one thing, because what came in my mind about this was like Bezerra de Menezes, that was a doctor in Brazil, more or less a little bit, I think, after Allan Kardec. And that time it has slavery in Brazil. So like the white people, the people that has money, that has a lot of slaves, right? They they were Christians and they don't accept the slaves. Like they think that they are animals, right? Like so, but the slaves that came from Africa, they bring their culture, they have their religions, they have their rituals, they have all their stuff. Like if they are sick, I believe that they do something to try help each other, and sometimes was not in the conventional manner. That was what came in my mind. I didn't thought in US. Maybe I be wrong, but that is the part that came.
Hi, Liz.
Hi there. I'd like to go back and underline what Charles was saying, actually. It's funny you were talking about America, Charles, because like just before the elections, a book took my eye in my library that I had forgotten all about, that I'd been given. And here it is. I'm reading it at the moment. Yeah, it's Soul Sick Nation, an astrologer's view of America. Now, it was written in 2006, but on reading it, and I'm not finished with it, nothing has really hardly changed. We're actually going through the same thing in 2024 as was written in 2006. And yes, it does show a lack of spirituality there. We wouldn't, unfortunately, there's been, since these elections, there's been over 5,000 and more suicides. There's been, people just having meltdowns. Where's the spirituality in that? It's so sad.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. But life is a cycle. Things we see in the past come back, will come back again. And through those cycles, we will learn and eventually evolve. So now we are stopping our study here. I saw Raphael there. And Raphael seems to be gone.
I'm here.
Are you there? I don't see you. But good. So, guys, I'll leave the mic with Raphael now.
Thank you, Guilherme. Hello, everyone.